Yep.
All right, I call this naming facilities committee meeting to order at 6 o'clock. We're going to start with introductions right here on the right. Mr. Whitman.
Hi, I'm James Quisenberry. My wife Jill taught here at Wiley School for 32 years. My son went K through 5 in Wiley School. I was on the PTA and have been a community activist for neighborhood schools at times. I work on campus with student affairs. I lead IT.
Brenda Hinch, I'm the 7th grade science teacher at UMass. Cindy Adamick, I am a 6th grade social studies teacher here at the 6th Grade Center, and I'm also our Avid Site Coordinator.
Julie Duvall, parent, grandparent, and everything.
Imani Carr, facilitator, principal here, also a parent. I have a daughter that is currently at the high school who's a sophomore. Sorry. Welcome. Just in time for introduction.
Hi, I'm Letitia Douglas. I am a teacher here at the 6th Grade Center, special ed teacher. I'm a parent. My daughter is at Leo Elementary. My adopted daughter.
I'm Lindsay Amardu. I'm a board member. I am also a parent of a student at the 6th Grade Center and a student at Urbana School.
I'm John Gutzmer. I'm the Chief Information for the district, or Chief Information Officer for the district.
Ben Baxley, I'm Vice President of the Board. I have 3 kids in the district, 2 at Leo and 1 at this school.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Douglas. I am a parent at the district. I have a 6th grader here at the 6th Grade Center. I also have a middle schooler at the 7-8 building. I'm an alum, and I'm also one of the special ed administrators here as well.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. All right, next we're going to have roll call, starting with Ms. Crystal Hall, who was absent. Cindy Adamick.
Here.
Brenda Hinch.
Here.
Julie Duvall.
Here.
Jacqueline Douglas.
Here.
John Gutzmer.
Present.
Letitia Douglas.
Here.
Imani Carr is here. Lindsay Amardu.
Here.
I'm sure.
You were really good.
Ben Baxley
Here.
and James Quisenberry.
Here.
Thank you. All right, now is the time when we open up for citizen statements. We have one. Remember, you're limited to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Paul Flossie. I'm president of the board. I want to express my sincere appreciation for all of you for volunteering your time for this important task. And I want to also express my apologies for the fact that this is coming late. We really should have done this a year or 2 ago instead now, but I appreciate you all stepping up and getting this done now. Later tonight, you'll be hearing a charge from the board. The intent of the board was not to put its thumb on the scale one way or the other. It was meant, so don't try to parse it, wordsmith it anyway. We really want you guys to come up with your own opinion on the charge and tell us what you think is the best thing for this building. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, seeing as there are no additional citizen statements, we're going to jump right down to 5.0. And we are now headed into our norms for the committee meeting. So I'd like to have everyone's voice in what our norms that we expect for our committee meeting, when we're going to be meeting, how it's going to be facilitated. And we can begin with whoever would like to speak first. Something that you feel should be added to our norms. If you would like to look, there are some examples.
They don't have those examples.
Oh, gotcha. So, yeah, go ahead, Ms. Adams.
To listen to opinions openly and respectfully.
Listen to opinions openly and respectfully. Mr. President.
1 speaker at a time.
1 speaker at a time. I like that. Yes.
Assume positive intent.
Assume positive intent. I think we can expect to be uncomfortable at times, but we honor and respect one another's voice. Any others we want to add?
Make sure your phone is on silent.
Yes, we can check that now. Is everyone's phone on silent?
You would think it was universal.
I did do that intentionally myself. All right, any others we want to add? Ms. Johnson, can you read those back to us?
Certainly. I had to spell check, okay. Listen openly, respectfully, one speaker at a time, assume positive intentions. And then this is where, and then, like you said, expect uncomfortable times, and honor and respect as well.
Awesome.
And phone on silent.
Yeah, thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda, 5.2, is reviewing the policy. You all should have that in your packet. I want to give you time quietly to go over the policy, familiarize yourself if you've not already. So we'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes. Does anyone need more time, or we were all able to read? Okay. All right. Any questions about what you've read? Okay. Now we will go to item number 5.3, Board of Education Facilities Naming Charge. As part of the comprehensive examination, to finalize the future name of the building currently called the Urbana Sixth Grade Center, and to best meet the needs of the district and the opinions of the USD116 stakeholders, the committee will consider but not be limited to the following options. And here is the charge as was approved by the board. At the request of the Board of Education, the Urbana School District's administration is organizing a facilities naming committee to advise and recommend to the Board of Education the future name of the building currently called the Urbana Sixth Grade Center. Under Board Policy 4.150, recognizing that the name for a school facility reflects the public image, the board's primary consideration will be to select a name that enhances the credibility and stature of the school, facility, and/or district. When a facility is to be named or renamed, the Board of Education will appoint a special committee to consider nominations and make a recommendation along with the supporting rationale to the board. The board will make the final selection. As part of the comprehensive examination to finalize the future name of the building currently called the Urbana Sixth Grade Center, and to best meet the needs of the district and the opinions of USD116 stakeholders, the committee will consider but not be limited to the following options. Number one, establishing the building's name as the Flossie Wiley Sixth Grade Center, or establishing the building's name as Urbana Sixth Grade Center, which follows the district's naming conventions for consistency and simplicity purposes, e.g. Urbana Early Childhood School, Urbana Middle School, Urbana High School, and Urbana Adult Education Center. If the name of the building is the Urbana Sixth Grade Center, then the options may be name the library in the building, the Flossie Wiley Library, name the current community garden, the Flossie Wiley Garden, or name the gymnasium in the building, the Flossie Wiley Gymnasium. The currently named Sixth Grade Center principal will chair the committee, which will include representatives from the current Urbana Sixth Grade Center, Urbana Middle School, and the former Wiley Elementary, including teachers, support staff, parents, and/or administrators. The Urbana Education Association, district administrators, and members from the Board of Education. The committee's meetings will be publicly noticed and be held at the currently named Sixth Grade Center. Following the Tuesday, September 16, 2025 Board of Education meeting, the committee will meet either monthly or bi-weekly until the committee has reached majority consensus and is prepared to bring a recommendation forward to the Board of Education. See page 2 for listings of committee members to be approved during the October 21st, 2025 special meeting and committee goals. Now, we're going to move on to item 5.4, review of the committee meeting schedule. At present, we did send out a poll just to determine who was available and when. So currently, today is our first meeting, November 3rd. We have other options of November 6th, November 10th, November 17th, and November 19th, looking at the majority of committee members who will be available during that time. And so right now, these are the potential dates that we have. Before we conclude the meeting today, we'll determine when our next meeting is. Now comes the time when we reach item 5.5, rationale for establishing the building's name as the Flossie Wiley Sixth Grade Center. So I'll open it up to the committee member who wants to share. Maybe talk about this.
So before I share on that, I do wanna point out that the charge says that we are not limited to the following options. So I would encourage people who have inspirations or other suggestions that might not fit into the bracket that has been put in front of us to suggest them. I might have some at some point, but I don't at this moment. I want to talk about the history of the building. We're not sitting in the Wiley School building. This is the new part of the building. But the original Wiley School building was built in 1952. And so it was expanded almost immediately because the city was growing. And it operated as a K-6 elementary school for up until 1980. And then because of changing demographics, as we've seen over time, it was closed as a K-6 facility, and it became the early childhood program, an all-day kindergarten, and some administrative offices were located in the building. That was a significant change in the function of the building. There was not a consideration that I'm aware of to change the name of the building. And so it functioned in that capacity until 1989, when it was reopened, again as a K-6 center for a year, and then it went to 5 as things changed in the district. And it operated in that fashion. When that change happened, there was not a discussion about changing the name of the school. The school is named after a teacher and a principal, Flossie Wiley, who was principal at Leo School, taught in the district, had an incredible reputation based on what I've been able to read. I wasn't there for that, not that old. But it was recognizing a woman who was a leader in the school district, and you can find people today that can talk about her influence and how she affected them. And so as we came to this point, the question I have in my mind is, what was the motivation to pursue renaming? What was the question about it? The school is named Wiley School, as we've seen in the documentation of policy. Naming or renaming requires an action by a committee of 2034. That's why we're here. But we knew we were going down this path 2 or 3 years ago. Paul sat right there and said, we should have been talking about this sooner. But I've never seen and we'll probably hear that later, I've never seen or heard the motivation or the reason for essentially erasing the heritage that naming it after Flossie Wiley was based on. I'm particularly concerned about in an era where we see a lot of erasing going on. Women, people of color, trans, gay individuals being taken down from where they were celebrated and eliminated. And my bottom line is retaining the name of Flossie Wiley for a building that was named after her for a very long time is something that needs a high bar of why to do it. Why would you rename it if you're going to pursue that erasing of that person? We have buildings in the district that don't have names. There's other people that we can justify naming buildings after. They're open places for those names to be lifted up. And so I would say there was a strong culture, a strong sense of family, a representation of some of the best things we try to do in the Urbana School District at Wiley School. And it would take a very strong argument for the good of the future to make me feel like it's the right step to take the name off the building.
Any other thoughts related to this particular agenda item? I do have a letter to read.
You don't have to read my letter because I caught most of this.
Okay. Okay. This letter was submitted by Kanifa Say. Says, Dear Superintendent Dr. Ivy Tatum and board members, Board of Education members, I'm writing to share my thoughts on the Sixth Grade Center and its name. First, thank you so much for your hard work. I am both optimistic and grateful for the creation of the Sixth Grade Center. Over the past 15 years of volunteering in our schools, I've observed the critical importance of the sixth grade transition. When students are not adequately supported during this time, they often struggle throughout middle and high school. Having a center focused on helping students move from elementary school into the broader district environment could make a meaningful difference. I would like to respectfully suggest that we name the new facility in a way that honors the history of the building and the community it has long served. Specifically, I propose the name Flossie Wiley Sixth Grade Center for the following reasons. History and legacy. The site holds deep meaning for many Urbana families. It is where students learn to live by the guiding principles of be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. Values that have shaped them into engaged and responsible citizens. Wiley served a diverse, largely middle-class community committed to building a better future for all. Hundreds of students pass through its doors and thousands of family members carry memories tied to this place. Number 2, sacrifice. Wiley students endured an aging building and outdated playgrounds, some in worse conditions than those found in developing countries. In recent years, Wiley families were dispersed among other elementary schools. Returning to the Flossie Wiley site as a sixth grade center is a way to honor their sacrifice so that all students may benefit from this new opportunity. Everyone entering the school system since 2010 owes a debt of gratitude for the Wiley community. In 2010, the building was proposed to be repurposed for the Urbana Early Childhood School. Without their persistence to remain in the existing facility, class sizes would have increased across elementary schools, impacting thousands of students. Number 3, compassion and equity. Many families who had the means to transfer elsewhere chose to stay at Wiley, prioritizing equity and community over convenience. This quiet act of solidarity is rare and deserves recognition. Naming the center Flossie Wiley Sixth Grade Center is a simple yet powerful gesture. Their sacrifices laid the foundation for a stronger, more unified Urbana school district. Wiley serves as a lasting reminder that we are stronger together and leading for the future. With gratitude, Kanika Faye.
So I would like to add that I brought with me information on the petition that was done on change.org. It includes the information of what the petition said, and then it has all of the signatures which were about 1996.
I believe that petition was not formally submitted to the board, was it?
It's not been,
It's not.
nope, but I brought it with me, and it also has comments, and if it needs to be formally submitted in some way, I will follow that process, but it is in support of continuing.
Gotcha. I believe customary.
I'll take that and I can share
I
it
can
with,
send it to you
Perfect.
electronically.
appreciate that, thank you.
Any other statements or information that you all want to be added to the consideration of the naming of the building as Flossie Wiley Sixth Grade Center, or thoughts relative to the history of what when it was the Wiley Elementary? I also want to make sure it's clear. The building that was Flossie Wiley Elementary was officially closed by the district. So this is not a renaming, but a naming, just so that is clear for everyone for the purpose of our vote when we get to that point.
Can I ask a clarifying question for that? So it was closed previously and the name wasn't changed. So what is distinct about this closing versus those closings?
I'm not sure what happened then, but now the state has a new identifying number for the school, for the building. So when Wiley was closed, that number was removed from whatever register. So this is technically the state seeing this as a new school.
And its records were closed, and all of its Illinois school reporting was closed, and it was opened as a new building. I'm sure that happened when it was closed as a K-6 school as well. I'm not sure what the state did with reporting at that time in the early 2000s. But the state doesn't dictate what the name is.
No, the state doesn't dictate the name, but all the state knows is there's a number with a current name that can be changed. So that's the rationale of saying, okay, it's clean slate, new building. Well, now name it.
And I would add to clarify, I'm not sure what happened in the early 2000s and 80s, but the board voted multiple times this time to close the building at the behest of several community members. Yeah, no doubt of that. Not disagreeing with that. I'm not sure I accept the premise that it's not real.
Anything else you want to add? All right, if there is nothing else to add to 5.5, we'll now move on to 5.6, rationale for establishing the building's name as the Urbana Sixth Grade Center. I can open the floor to anyone who wants to add, or I can start with reading the letter. Okay, I'll start with the letter. All right, this was submitted on September 10, 2025 to Mr. Pokulowski, the president of the board of the Urbana School District Board of Education, Dr. Ida Tatum, superintendent of Urbana School District. Dear Mr. Flossie and Dr. Ivy Tatum, we are submitting this letter to respectfully propose that the board consider formally naming the newest building in our district, the Urbana Sixth Grade Center. As a new secondary building, this follows the tradition of other secondary buildings like Urbana Middle School and Urbana High School, which embodies who we are as a school community. This name is reflective of the identities of the students, families, and staff represented and marks the historic moment we created together. By officially designating the building the Urbana Sixth Grade Center, we acknowledge the beginning of something new for our students, families, and the community that establishes a foundation for all generations that will follow. In addition to the above, we would like to recommend that we honor the legacy of Flossie Wiley by dedicating either our garden or library space as the Flossie Wiley Garden or Flossie Wiley Library. Ms. Wiley's years of service to the Urbana School District's community and commitment to student growth and achievement leaves a long-lasting legacy that deserves recognition. With the naming designation of our garden, which promises to be an interactive learning space, or the library, which provides essential resources for student learning and provides a collaborative space for engagement, we will show appreciation for the excellence she modeled for generations to come. The above naming opportunities allow us to honor the past, celebrate the present, and plan for the future. The Urbana Sixth Grade Center establishes our identity forged in diversity, creating history, while the Flossie Wiley Library or Garden provides a permanent tribute to a pillar in our community. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration of this important recognition. Voices from the Sixth Grade Center. Now I open it up for anyone who has something that they would like to say.
Look at me. Okay. No, it's gonna come out anyway, might as well start now. So as somebody that was on the Wiley committee, and I have a few points, so I'll try to be brief. Let me start as an advocate. As an advocate who advocates throughout the country for education advocate, I think it's really important we have 5 elementary schools, and it's easy to say we're at Thomas Paine or DPW or wherever we're at. It kind of comes with a mentality. I don't know if that's the right word. You're elementary, and then you're moving on to the middle school, and it's a different mindset. And I think we have the high school, the middle school. Why not the Sixth Grade Center? We don't have multiple like we have elementary, where we would have 5 different names. I was part of the committee for Wiley, and it got really ugly. And there were a lot of emotions involved with families. And I personally, I'm a Thomas Paine parent, and I was personally offended because at some point I felt like the way I understand them wanting to support their school, but at one point they were discounting the other schools. Like Thomas Paine wasn't as good. Like heaven forbid that Wiley teachers get sent to Thomas Paine because we're terrible at school. And so I think they're made a divide in the community, and I don't think we have that currency to spare in today's age, just in general. I have a financial issue. We already have all the signage and everything named. And so I would like to know, like, how much would it cost, like, to just change that name, the sign outside has to be at least like $5,000. And so how much to rebrand everything in the district would that cost? Do we have that money to spare? Could that money be used somewhere else more useful? And I think that while I respect Flossie and I think Wiley she's a nice lady and I want to respect her, I think Wiley's name got tainted through the other process. And this, not her, but the school. And I think that some people look at Wiley, hear Wiley, and just think of all the drama and the stuff that unfolded. And as you said, my understanding from the state, when I researched it, everything closed. PTA closed, every single thing closed. And I want no disrespect for her,